for a challenge. We're going to recreate this drawing here, and in doing so, we are going to show you how to write a note and just refresh our memory on some of these other tools. So the very first thing that you want to do when you are approaching a complex drawing like this is think a little bit about where you want to begin. And I think that we should begin on these concentric circles here. And what we'll do is we'll draw those 4 concentric circles, concentric meaning sharing the same center. And then what we'll start to do is we'll start to draw around them and trim out what we don't need as we go. So we're going to start here. It is a diameter 0.88. And then we'll just find ourselves our center mark there. And then we'll do our next one, which is radius 0.75. Our next one is radius 2. And then radius 2.5. Okay, so those are all of the circles having to do with this here. Now, what are we going to do? Well, we've got a center line here that's going to give us a dimension for another circle here. So why don't we just draw ourselves a reference line, starting from this center line here, and going 3.38. And that is the distance from center to center there. Now we can draw these 2 circles. So we'll draw this first circle, which is diameter 0.62. Come here, click diameter 0.62. And then we have diameter 1.25. Okay. So we have got the beginnings of our shapes here. So what we now need to do is we need to figure out how we are making these other angles. So we've got an angle that is 15 degrees from the vertical, and then an angle that is 15 degrees from the horizontal. So it might be helpful to start drawing from here our next line. All right, so how long does this line have to be? It doesn't really matter, because we're just going to trim up the edge. What we really need to do is we need to focus on the angle here. Now take a look at where this angle is measuring from. It's measuring from this point here. And what we want to do is we want to measure the other angle. So what we have to do is quick math. 180 minus 15 is 165. So we can hit tab and 165. And that is going to provide for us that 15-degree angle that we are looking for there. And then we can just do the same thing moving up this way. So we'll do another line here, starting from here, moving up. And notice that it says 90 degrees from there. So what we want to do is we want to take 15 from 90. 15 from 90 is 75. And that is that 15-degree arc there. So now that we have those 2 arcs, what we need to do is we need to do some offsetting. So we will come over here, grab our offset tool, and our offset distance is 0.5. Just go there. And our offset distance is still going to be 0.5. Just go there. All right, so we've got a lot of lines here, but we've got the beginnings of all of the shapes that we need. So let's do some trim.
Trim this, and say this, and then we can come in here. Let's leave the rest of this up for now. We can do this, and this.
Okay. So we should be able to see that it is starting to take shape now. All right, so let's make this portion here, and we can do that by offset again. So we've got a center line, and we just need to go up and down. So it's 0.75, half of 0.75 is 3.75. So what we'll do is we'll do some more offset. 0.375. And we'll go up and come down. And then we can delete the center line here. We no longer need that. And we can do some trimming.
Come in here, trim this up. Then we come over here and trim this up. Want to be precise, right? So let's trim that, and then we can trim this.
All right. So we're looking pretty good. The only thing that we're missing are these little curves here. So we should probably use our fillet tool for that. So let's come back in here. Grab our fillet tool. And you'll notice that all the small radii is 0.25. So select first object or, so we can right click and we can go radius and we can say 0.25. Enter. And we can click this and this. And then fillet again. This and this. Then where else do we need it? Over here. Here. And then this is going to possibly cause us some problems. Let's take a look at what happens here. Here and here. No problems. Just trim up. Right. Okay. That's looking good. Let's get a center point here. All right. Now what we need to do is we need to make our note. So we come over here to our text and we are going to put it right here. And we're going to type in small radii. Or 0.25. And then we're just going to make the rest of our dimensions. We can begin with whatever dimension we want. Doesn't really matter. I'll come here. For right angle, let's draw a line there, but let's change that line to a center line. We got our center lines. What we're going to do is we are going to dimension our angles from them. So we have been using this default dimensioning tool up until now, and that has worked fine for us. Many times, AutoCAD can tell what it is that we are trying to do as we're doing it, and so they just automatically adjust for us. But if we try to do that now, we are not going to be able to get what it is that we are looking for, right? So it's not giving us an angle. So what we have to do is we have to force it. And what we do is we come over here to this dimension selection tool, and we want to come down to angular. And once we do that, we'll find that it is what we want it to be. And we can do the same thing here. All right, last thing we have to do is we have to find this dimension here. And the way that we can do that is that we can come back to our dimension selection tool and go to dimension aligned. And what we can do is we can click on that end there and that end there. And that is going to give us 0.5. And that will be all of that. So we do the same thing that we have been doing. File, export to PDF. Save as PDF. Set 6. And then Command S. Make sure there's no black dot. And we're good to go.